What kit do you recommend for building a home gym? Well, I can talk about all the kit that I've purchased and what I utilize the most and what I like. But actually, this is going to come down to, a lot of it's going to come down to your preferences, as in like your sort of training values or philosophy, but then also your audience, your target audience, the type of client you work with. Now, I've probably said to you before, I work with people generally that are over 35, men and women, that that they don't want to be professional athletes, but they just want to live longer, have a better quality of life, like what they see in the mirror, and feel generally more robust and injury proof, etc. So I actually train my clients. I do actually train them like athletes, but what I do is I start them from the beginning, working on kind of stability, endurance, building some muscle size, hypertrophy, building some strength, and then I move on to more of a hybrid approach. We're doing a bit of everything. So I'm tackling cardiovascular fitness, muscular endurance, muscular strength, muscle size, body composition, flexibility. So I'm trying to get them to be this sort of complete package. Not the best at one thing, but pretty good at all of those things. Better than most people their age at all those things. That's my goal for my clients. And because I target quite a lot, I do need quite a lot of variety of kit. So you don't necessarily need to spend as much as I have, but don't forget I've been purchasing bits over the years as well. So let me start right from the beginning then, what I first purchased. So I'm pretty sure the first things I purchased were my kettlebells. Now you can't really see them. No, you can't see them. But over on the side, I've got kettlebells ranging from 4 kilos all the way to 44 and a pair of each. Now, I guess if I was to buy those new, I mean, it's probably a couple of grand's worth, I would have thought. I don't know, a lot of money, but I've been buying them over time. But what I first bought was a 6, an 8 and a 10. And I would put those in the boot of my car, I'd take them into people's homes, I would take them into parks. And it wasn't until I then had a base, like a home gym, where I started to purchase more on top of that. So I definitely think some kettlebells are great. Really, really good. That's where I started, and I probably wouldn't change that decision. That was a good decision. Now, the other thing I would definitely recommend you guys get are bands. Can you see those, the bands there? Now, bands are great. I use them a lot for activation work as part of the warm-up. So they're activating glutes and shoulder retractors and things. But then I'll use them for definitely part of like that first phase of training that I train my new clients with. They'll use them a lot because they're not very intimidating, but it's resistance. So it gets them used to learning movement patterns with little resistance. That's not going to hurt them. And so they're great for that. Then we've got, after that, I won't talk about the squat rack just yet. The other thing I think the next thing I got actually was a set of pads. So, just a set of gloves and pads. You can't go wrong with those. Once you've learned how to use them, clients love them. So you can work their cardio. You don't need to go and buy a rowing machine or a bike. Now, by all means, if you've got the money and you want to buy those things, buy them. But you don't need to, because you can actually give somebody a circuit, which is great for cardio, or you can utilize boxing gloves and pads and skipping ropes. If you've got the room, if you've got the height, I'm lucky, I've got the height, but you can skip, you can skip in here. So that's another little addition. Now, just with the boxing pads, a collection of kettlebells, the bands, I mean, yeah, I can give someone a decent workout with that, and you can spread that across. I mean, you can do a lovely 12-week program working on general physical preparedness using those bits of kit. And then as and when you get more money, and if you've got the space, love this thing, love it. So that's a power rack or squat rack, whatever you want to call it. And I really like this one because I sound like I'm not getting commission from these guys, by the way. I sound like I'm advertising it, but I do really like it. It's a really good buy. And you can see at the top, it's got a pull-up bar as well. So you can do chins, pull-ups, it's got multiple different grips. I've shoved a carabiner clip in the middle as well. So I can put my punch bag on there. So I've got that option too. Obviously you've got the the rack, so you can do squatting, overhead pressing, all sorts of stuff in there. Yeah, I love it. And then I don't know if you can see as well, where there's multiple holes on it, you can put the bands for it. Like I've got a band on the left there, you can see red band through there, so I can do things like activation work for like, you know, rotator cuff work and all sorts with those. So love that. And then just behind me, got a rack of dumbbells. Now, that's a big expense. And again, you know, if you've got a big budget and you're quite happy to just spend a lot of money, then they are great. I love it. I've got another rack opposite. So the rack opposite starts at 10 kilos and they go all the way to 25. And these ones go from 27.5 up to 40. And I've got a particularly strong client, so I do need those dumbbells for him. But I wanted them for me as well, so justifiable business expense, I feel. And that's it. And, you know, other little bits and pieces. I've got a suspension trainer, but actually, to be fair, I don't use that much in here. I used to use it a lot in my old home gym, but don't use it so much in here. Yeah, I think that's the main gist of it. So I hope that answers the question. Yeah, I think it does. Just rereading it. What kit do you recommend for a home gym? Kettlebells, a starter, kettlebells, bands, boxing pad and gloves. Oh, one last thing. This little puppy. Can get it? This here. So this is a Gym Boss, but I have it, it's like an interval timer. I have it preset for 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. And I use it for timing intervals. So when I'm doing the dynamic stretches, everything's 30 seconds. And then at the end, when we do developmental stretching, it's 30 seconds. So I just leave that preset and I just clip it here. I just hit that and it starts and it will bleep again in 30 seconds. And it just saves me having to fiddle around my phone, getting an app out or, you know, what have you. So there we go. Another little waffly one for you.